Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to pre-market analysis for October the 26th, 2020. So, what do we expect this morning? We are going to go through our stock market technical analysis daily here as we do, then highlight some opportunities where we could make money today and maybe for this week. So thank you for joining us. If this is your first time catching this in a playback, well, we do this every morning, every weekday from 8:40, 45. It's currently 8:45 Eastern Time, 5:45 Pacific in Southern California, where the broadcast is coming to you live. And yeah, find a way to that subscribe button so that you do not miss on even the video that we are posting. I think we have been extremely busy recently putting content, and thank you for everybody who's taking the time to give us the likes and the feedback on the content that we have been putting. Our goal is to bring you valuable education so that you can take your trading to the next level. In the room, in the live room, I can see Miss Dora. Good morning. How are you? Glad to have you. If anybody could confirm that the sound somehow it's acceptable to your hearing, and then we'll be ready to start. Thank you. All right. Well, there was always that small gap of time that goes between the live broadcast and getting a reply back. All right. I'm wearing a red t-shirt. By code, the some yeah, I know I do not respect that most of the time or some of the time, but red, that's mean the market is red. But before we get into that, let's dive into a summary maybe of what's where we left the market. I mean, when we say the market, at least part of it through the eyes of SPY on here. So let's start with the daily chart of SPY to give you an idea what transpired last week. So last week, the market opened, it gapped up from the previous close on the previous Friday, which was October the 16th. So on October the 19th, we opened at 348, but it was actually a bearish day. This big candle under provided opportunities. If you were, this was the famous day of 10 bagger, 1000% late, 1000% after 2 p.m. Mind you, if you remember, we made a video of that. That's available on the playlist on this channel on how we took two cents contract and they went as high as, I think they went where the last batch we sold was at 24 cents, but I think that pushed 30 cents and that was late. I am underlying, as we have been saying on here, opportunity that exists, but at the same time, because I've been getting a lot of feedback as I speak with people who come to one-on-one. Yes, because on one hand, I'm saying that please be careful with SPY. SPY is not some because it presents opportunities. SPY, we can lose money on SPY. Yeah, we need to be mindful of that. So we provided here for our viewers and for our subscribers a trading clock, if you will, where we say that all the way between the opening at 9:30 Eastern to about 11:30 at the most, it's our first opportunity really to make money. After that, from 11 to all the way to 2 p.m. or sometimes even 2:30, the market is really just doing some sideways. I mean, this is, we're talking broadly, right? Meaning individual stock, some individual stock, they may not obey to this pattern, but this, if you have this in mind, that's help you understand somehow where you will minimize your risk, especially early in the week, Mondays, Tuesday, and sometimes even Wednesday, between 11 to 230. That's a no trade zone, if you will, or minimal risk zone, if you will. But then for somebody like SPY, opportunity, where are opportunities? This has been something that has been consistent. In 5 days of SPY, if you want to apply that today, yeah, so at least you can have 3 days where if you focus strictly between 11:30 to the close, and remember SPY has an extra 15 minutes after 4, from 4 to 4:15, right? So you can have opportunity to trade SPY successfully, as was highlighted in the example last week. But last week, after that happened, the rest of the week was sideways. Look at this range here. The range, it's actually, as of now, SPY is opening at the bottom of last week's range. Yeah, but that range wasn't really that big, because we never went as high as we opened on Monday, and the range was strictly at best, because this one on here on Wednesday, we know while Wednesday, right? So while Wednesday we opened flat, then we went almost 5 points up, and then we gave it all back. So Wednesday provided opportunities to win in both directions. So okay, that was movement on there. But Thursday and Friday was really not much going on. So we are talking, how many points are we talking here? 341 and a half, 345 and a half. That's 4 points for an entire week, which was SPY, is not really that much. If we go here, yes, I know I'm gonna do it again. If people who have been watching the show, they know if I go to Finviz, that's mean I'm looking at the ATR, and as usual, I go to the Finviz, I'm looking at the ATR for a specific stock. That's, I don't have that handily ready, so let's update on here and look at the ATR for SPY. The ATR for SPY is $5. This is daily ATR, yeah. Yet I'm showing you a chart where the entire week we were stuck in a range. Yeah, you can tell me, yeah, well, if each day you move $5, but there were days where we didn't even move $5. Let's say on, for instance, Friday, how many did we move? Between the low and the high, it was $2.5 at most. The open and the low on Thursday was $2, and the open and the high was about, not even, $3.43, $2. So no, very little, limited opportunities on Thursday, Friday. Tuesday was not any beta really. So 2 days on here on SPY, but this is sideways action. So out of this, you could call it consolidation, because we are above exponential moving average 20, the green line. That's what the green line represents here on my chart. Okay, is there a way, maybe? Okay, I remove the colors that I removed. There are the Fibonacci retracement. So if that's the way distraction to you, so the yellow line that you see is the exponential moving average 8 period. So that's the recent momentum that has been behaving here as natural support thereabouts. The orange line is VWAP. If you're new to technical analysis, the green line is the exponential moving average 20. The white line for us here is the middle of the upper Bollinger, which is here is represented with these red dots, and the lower Bollinger bands are represented by this pink or purple crosses. So the price action on here last week was really very limited on SPY, and we see that on the broader stock ad, because SPY include all of all 10 sectors, right? So meaning most stock will have this behavior. Individual stock, we are going to show you some that moved last week. they may have been different. I mean, yeah, here actually, no, this is the weekly. So this is the candle for the whole week. Now you can see, yeah, we have had similar type of things before. Well, where, I mean, the movement on SPY itself, but really most of the time you will expect SPY to go maybe above that 5 points, and in this case, so overall, where do we stand then? We are August 26, yeah, and we have had 2 consecutive weeks on here red on the weekly, but red not really something like this, yeah. So the question will be, are we setting ourselves up for a big week today of that, let's say this type of candle? So this type of candle here above 10 points, yeah, that's so this one here open to low was over 20 points, yeah. or this one. We haven't had that for a while. This one, 3 weeks ago, 336 to 347, 11 points on the bullish trend. Yeah, on the bullish side. So here we're stuck on here. So something has got to give. If let's say we break below the 340, you see that natural support here, right? We created a video recently on support and resistance. So the yellow line here, exponential moving average 8 on the weekly, we switch time frames on here, is the one that was support last week. So if we broke that, then we can look into 330 potentially as the next support level on here on this chart. But that's a long way, my friend, because we can start counting the day now. So the 26th, in case, well, they can ask me, what are we counting the day towards? Well, yeah, there's this date called November 3rd for our international traders. So I don't know, because all the pundits, for those who have the time, I do not, to listen, they are, if the claim is that, okay, either the market is going to go up or there's going to be an opportunity to buy the dip. What? Yeah, so that's the narrative. So okay, so meaning the first one is obvious. Okay, the market's reacting to the outcome of November 3rd bullishly. Okay, fine. But if the market react negatively, the pundits are jumping to the conclusion that that's an automatic opportunity to get some cheap entries, meaning that by that they were saying that whatever reaction happened, the end game, which I don't know if they define timelines. I didn't bother reading the articles all the way. All of this is headline, folks, to say, hey, should the market drop, it will eventually bounce. Yeah, we're not disputing that market generally goes up. But yeah, that's but I mean the timeline involved or anything. So for us as traders, that's why I tell you guys sometimes, we should not really be concerning ourselves of that, right? Price movements will dictate how we trade, and trading means, hey, you buy preferably low and you sell high. I know it's a cliche. It was another video, folks, that we have on the channel. Yeah, for us, we have a great strategy on how to buy low and sell high. So we can apply it here today for SPY, because SPY is moving. So movement this way, either are they going to buy the dip? Let's say if we go back to the 15-minute chart or the daily, or whatever. So last Monday we were granted this big candle on here on the 12th on the previous week. This is the candle that we had. So we had almost 5 points on here, 4 points on this after a gap up on the 12th, and then on the 19th, small gap up, and we have over 5 points. So if that trend is to carry on, so how were we on the 5th? On the 5th, it was a gap up again, and in this case, we went from 336, 3-4 points. So we can definitely look for 3-4 points here at this. Let's say 4 points, right? 4 points on here for us. The setup will be what? SPY has expiration today, so 345 calls, yeah. And on the put side, so let's say we are 341.5, 4 points from here. You do the math. 337, 338, yeah, 337 there about 337, 338 puts. And it doesn't, I mean, with our starting point can definitely be a Ganser trade starting before the market opened. But as last week, for instance, we had a trend that was bearish the entire day. Let's show you the 15-minute chart of it, and then we will move on from this stock market technical analysis that we do here daily. So here's our 15-minute chart, and we're going to go to the 19, yeah, the 19 was last Monday. Yep. But remember the pattern that we have been highlighting, a pattern for you pretty much over and over again. This reverse use, yeah, the market fakes a bearish trend, hit the lower Bollinger just to bounce off of it, go retest the moving averages, and then last week they didn't quite do that. Last Monday they didn't quite do that as much. So this was the opening candle on here. small gap up, but after that, the next two candle right, we touched the lower Bollinger, and from there, yeah, so that's game started. It was more of a patience game last week. This was our entry. Look at 2 p.m. Let me zoom in to make sure that we are sharing. Okay, because the screen, my screen, not sure what happened here. Okay, this is better. Okay, sorry about that. This is much better. Okay, so the 19, where were we on the 19? The 19, the opening was here. My timestamp on my TradingView chart, it's Pacific time. Yeah, so this was the move for the entire day. So as late as here, the daily, I don't know, what was the level that we were trading? We were trading the 340 puts. Yeah, so 340 puts at this here, 2 hours before the close, they were worth 2 cents, and then they went almost 30 cents in a matter of 45 minutes. Those are the opportunities that exist. And I mean, in this case, it was in this direction. The entire day, the market was following a direction. So based on my 2 cents, pun intended, 1 cent, meaning it's not an expensive type of quant analysis. They usually pick a direction on Mondays here recently, and then they follow that. The previous Mondays prior to last week were bullish, typically, were at least you look at a full candle, a full complete candle of a given color. But I mean, the nuance is especially between 11, I'm repeating myself, between 11 and 2 p.m. the market just most of the time. Here it is here, like, even here, look at this. Tiny moves compared to the size of the candle, reduced compared to the bigger candles that we had early. So be mindful of that. Meaning, could we trade this, something like this? Okay, if we get into Ganser here, can definitely take profit should it post lower lows at some point, and then at 8:15, you say, okay, that's fine. You will come back at 11 to see how the day finishes. All right. Well, let's take a look on here as a glance into the live chats. Good morning, Mr. B. Good morning, Miss Lorraine. How are you? Right. Let's carry on here with the cues. I mean, similar pattern on the cues the entire week. Okay, now let's see, can we make this? Okay, this is better. Look at this. This is even more. Look at how tight QQQ was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Ridiculous range. It wasn't even $2.50. So out of this here, I think most of them we are going to take a look maybe tomorrow, yeah, or for the stock inside of QQQ that have earning this week, but. This is huge consolidation on here, yeah? So which direction are we going to go, up or down for this week? 4 consecutive days of no action whatsoever. And this will translate into, let's say, the big, the stock that, you know, the big holding inside of QQQ, right? Meaning they will not have had that much movement on here. So very little opportunity after Monday on QQQ as of last week. So which means this week we're bound to see, just on the basis of those earnings, we are bound to see a movement. We don't know which direction is going to go, because again here, just like SPY, support is it's currently at support is currently at the exponential moving average 8, the yellow line, yeah, so which is at let's round it up, let's say 280. So upon QQQ dropping below that lower values, the next level of support is 270, as we can see on here, yeah. All right, so that's help us take a view or a scrutiny, if you will, of the high level of the market. So for individual stock, let's dive into our Power E-Trade here to see what's moving, what are the potential opportunity this morning. So I switch my the view on here. That's not the view I would like. Power E-Trade. Yep. Okay. We have that on the screen, and I need to bring that for me. Ah, there are two of them. Ha, that's interesting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but hey, whatever works, right? So let's first maybe minimize this one. And so what we have been recommending is, hey, if you have the time, analysis of pre-markets should provide you with stocks that you can trade. If, let's say, you don't have a trading system yet, which we strongly recommend. I mean, we have been highlighting some of the article we wrote on our blog to say, in order to achieve a consistency in the stock market, it's definitely have a system by which you go about attacking the market, because otherwise you're always going to be guessing. So one way of that is to have a strategy that's it's proven, that has been tested. Hence, we do recommend to beginners to spend time testing the strategy on a demo account, on a paper account, until they feel comfortable. First of all, about if you're a newcomer to trading, that's just knowing how things work, right? How to do things, how to get a trade in, how to exit a position, and the like. So starting on here, so inside our Power E-Trade, this is a view of the major ETFs, at least the one that we spend time focusing on here. So you have SPY here. Not SPY should be maybe at the top. I don't know why it's at the bottom. Doesn't matter. The volume this morning is not that big, because here we are. It's currently 9:06 Eastern time. We're about just 24 minutes before the opening of the markets, and it doesn't even have 1 million shares. So volume is very light. That's interesting for October the 26th. Again, so with that light volume, SPY is down 1.2 or there, but pretty much has been at that level throughout. So normally on here, one way to view this could be that, okay, so this is a strong support area. Yeah. So if this is a strong support area, it should bounce from here. Is that the case? So if this was a stock, let's say a stock that's in pre-market, observe something like this, I will be thinking, okay, is this a support area, because the price hasn't moved much from there, literally. But then again, there is no volume, because 800,000 shares on SPY, I guarantee you, is not much at all. There's not much at all. So participants in are not at this time pulling in any direction. Hence, the stock, the ETF is flat. QQQ is even worse. 600,000 shares on a Monday. That's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, the small, the Russell, the Russell 2K ETF IWM, the small caps, less than 500,000 shares. So this one was bullish over the last couple of weeks or thereabouts. So, but still, I mean, 163. But now this morning is the one that's lagging the most. Nope, actually, XOP, the energy and gas, its ETF is lagging the most at -285. Yeah. So if we switch to, we have a bigger list of investment to watch on here. We like to do this. We like to look at which stock has zero volume whatsoever. It's just for fun, folks. HES is the one. Typically, we see LNG. So it's well, I have some history with LNG. That's why. If you want to find out the detail, there's an article on the blog where I highlight when I was starting my infatuation with LNG. So yeah, that's that can happen. Okay, in terms of big volume, oh snap. Yeah, no pun intended. Oh snap. Yeah. So if you want to see volume, here is volume, not what we are seeing on SPY, for instance. Snap, which has earning last week, yeah, and for us, I think it was Wednesday. We recommended here the 40 calls. Those calls, if you took them on Wednesday, by Friday the stock went all the way to $43. Yeah, late on Friday, but by then, I mean, that's the type of move. So I invite you to look at this the daily chart of Snap. Maybe we have time to go do that on here to see what we can expect in terms of momentum trade post earning, because that's the very definition of that. Another stock that I can think of in recent earnings that has done similar, there are many, but that has had something like that. It was Twilio, yeah, where after earnings, the stock is up big. So conventional wisdom will dictate, the stock has gone up too much, yeah, and then just for us to see it carry on, day one, day two, day three momentum. So this morning here, Snap, it's retreating a little bit, but there is a lot of volume, a lot of it. So that's interesting on the to see how that's one will resolve. I mean, it's down just about -1% at the most. Apple has had volume. Our friend Neo, I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. Neo is a stock that moves, so that's another stock that moves. The other stock that moves on here, I'm guess I'm filtering by volume, but most maybe we're gonna see it when I filter by different criteria. You guys can guess. Oh, it is here. Pins, yeah. Pins is another one of those stocks. Like I've been joking since last week that has somebody traded Pins again, because it's always on the move. Now it's bringing volume. Pins. Actually, let's finish this section on here and go take a look at the chart for Snap, Pins, and there's another stock. So those are the three stocks that I want to take a look at charts. And if you have your stock that you want to take a look, this is the moment, please, to put that in there, since we're going to close with that. So that's the big volume movers here in this morning. Definitely ETFs, but Snap, Pins are there as well. So if we go now by percentage moves, RCL is moving. XOP, we saw that that's the ETF for gas and oil. Delta Airlines, it's moving -2.47% this morning. Halliburton is moving -2%. Win is moving -2.3%. FCX is moving. Neo is moving, slumping a little bit. I mean, SPY is down -1%, so you will expect most of the stock, right? But here's somebody bucking the trend, yeah? Pins, it's up. One of the rare ones to be up. So Twilio, AMD, and Baba. Oh, Baba, my goodness. Baba hasn't been able to close above 310 for how many days now? This has been like over 2 weeks. It's showing sign of anything. I have, well, no, it's too early to me to talk about that. We have the entire week to talk about that. We will devote some time maybe to highlight that, or we're gonna just post that in one of our Discord channel. So we have about, it's currently 6:12 Pacific time, 9:12 Eastern. Let's switch on here and take a look at some of the daily charts, because that's we want to highlight. So for that, let's go back here. So I switch my screen again such that I'm not speaking out of. All right, so let's come back here. My screen is frozen, meaning something happened, the software crashed or whatever. We have had those things on here many times. So okay, hopefully we are back. I don't know what you guys missed. So since we already have pins, let's take a look at the daily chart of spin. So these highlights on here that you see is just things that when we are teaching, right? So the previous earnings, which was in July, pins gapped violently, yeah, from 24 to 33, 10 points. That's 33% under, and then it stayed in range, and this range was about 32 to 38 for August, from August all the way to pretty much the end of September on here, and then breakout out of this box, purple box that you saw here, then another consolidation in October, And this wasn't its own earning. This was the earning for Snap, where it just broke out. And then every morning there, since then, we are seeing volume, and we are seeing it mostly bullish. Yeah, so this is a gap up here, this is small gap up on here. So but we have opportunities, because this lower week they showed that, hey, there were possibility to buy the dip on here. So their earning is scheduled for October the 28th. Is this what this is showing? Okay, so where will it be trading by the earnings? So this type of stock is very, very interesting to trade. I'm saying trade. I'm not saying that it's bullish or bearish, because it's outside of the upper Bollinger. Something has got to give. Either it has just strong momentum to carry on posting higher highs on this daily chart, as has been doing over the last 6 days here. Yeah. Or will it come to reality? So that's what makes it interesting. So Snap, on the other hand, come on. Snap had its earning, a blowout earning, should we say, last week, and this is what happened. Yeah. So close at 43 on Friday, 3 consecutive days. So now is it back to reality? Because this thing is stretched big time, big time. Look at it. So another stock that where we have to get involved, because it has to come to a resolution here. I mean, on the day, this is the daily, the upper Bollinger is at 38. Yeah, it's trading 5 points higher. Conventional wisdom is that this stock should somehow calm down at some point, but will it? We have seen things like this where it continues all the way. So that's what makes it interesting. Last but not least, this other one, it's a recent entry into our watch list. Fiverr International. My only thing with Fiverr is that it only has monthly options. So hence, you have to time it. But the setup has been bullish, yeah? The setup has been bullish ever since, let's say, September here. How? Why? Look at the gap between the slope of the yellow line, that's the exponential moving average 8 period, and the green line. So has just been a bit bouncing off of that. This is the first time that's actually it's finding itself, well, since September 8 thereabout, that is trading around the green line. Is it going to bounce off of it and continue? So that will be interesting on here. The advantage is that if you take, let's say, a position on here, the expiration being in November, you have plenty of time to adjust or to make scale in entry into that position. So that's I wanted to highlight that for Fiverr, because that's a stock that's I'm seeing some potential on a weekly chart. This was a first red candle. When a stock like Fiverr has a monthly expiration, it just means that even a super big move will only yield, since there is plenty of time left, will only yield very moderate returns. But the advantage is that you have time to somehow adjust your size into that position. Alright, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewer will be experiencing buffering. Well, as by convention on here, for us, pretty much we know that when Mr. Mickey comes in, we say, hey, bonjour, Monsieur Mickey, and we say au revoir, Monsieur Mickey, because that marks typically the end of our broadcast. We hope that the technical difficulties did not deter you from getting the most out of this. It is Monday. The market is gapping down on here. Opportunity to go against on SPY plus and minus 4 points thereabouts and see what happened. And then the last 2 hours, folks, on expiration day on SPY are our best opportunity. So we wish you a great trading session, and this is another week of earnings. We will be going into details about the opportunity tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Until then, have a great trading session, everybody. Bye-bye.